I'd understood her vocal in a certain way, and then there was a lyric sheet or there was something, and I went, Is that what the lyrics actually are? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, I thought the song meant something completely different.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Thank you for your time. Hectic times. New album coming out soon. Let's just keep it simple for a second, because it is busy. You're at work. A lot of things are happening for you guys. We'll dive into that. So with everything around you right now, how are you doing? Are you able to stay calm?
Yeah, it's good. I feel like I kind of thrive on a little bit of pressure.
Okay, good.
I'm flat out at the minute, which is good. It's nice. I like being flat out. I like having something to get me out of bed in the morning. I don't know about you. I'm one of those people, if I wake up and I've got nothing to do, I'm like, well, I'll just stay in bed. And then it's like 9 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, dude, I should really get out.
Right.
At least get me out of bed. That's something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my case, luckily for me, I have a 5-month-old baby, so there's no more. There's no more staying in bed. Anyways, awesome. So now you mentioned a key word here already, which is pressure. You say like you need a little bit of pressure. Well, I'm sure there's no short supply of that right now, because things all of a sudden went pretty fast for you guys. Things are moving.
Yeah.
Obviously, the previous record made quite a few waves for you guys. Yeah. Predominantly still in the UK, but I think you're already seeing a more international attention with this record. So things are going fast. You went from being completely the new kid on the block to playing Download, and now there's a second record already. That also means there's not just the pressure you put on yourselves, but there's expectations as well. You know, there's just no way around that. So what's that like for you guys right now?
I mean, for me, it feels good, man. I like that. I like the sense of, not even the external pressure anyway, but I like the sense of being, okay, so we've come in, we've done an album, okay, now it's take two. Now you can't, everyone can make an album once, you know, but now is the commitment to say, okay, no, we can do this twice, and then 3 times it has to be either better or just different from the first one, so that we kind of stand out and it's cool and people talk about it and everything. Because you can make the same album over and over again, and people do, but it doesn't last very long. You've got to get better or get weirder, I suppose.
Especially in the world of rock and metal, people always talk about the third album. You know, you've got all these classic albums, Master of Puppets, Number of the Beast. People sometimes forget how challenging that second record can be, because for a lot of bands, first record is really a greatest hits collection of since the start of the band, and you've had years and years and years to try these songs in small clubs and what have you. Some bands have a lot of leftover stuff from since they started. Some bands, their second album's completely new. What was that like for you guys?
No, the whole of album 2 is all brand new. Awesome. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there was anything that we did that was like reused or rehashed together or anything.
Yeah.
The process was so different, because with the first album, it was very much a case of I would sit down, I'd write the whole skeleton. You know, the guitar, the bass, the drums, and then Jon would come in, put some synths on, and then Charlie would put the vocals on the top. Right. It was already sort of weird and wonderful before that.
Yeah.
Then for this album, Jon and I kind of sat down, and he was like, I really want the synths to be quite integrated with the sound, because on the first album, you could take the synths out, and it would feel different, but everything would still be there, you know. Whereas this time round, they're so much more interwoven into the sound that it kind of, you know, we kind of did it in a way that we sound like one piece.
Yeah.
You know, you take away the guitars and something's missing. You can take away the synth and there's something missing. Whereas with the first one, you could probably take the synths away and like it wouldn't be as good.
Right.
The song would
there would still be songs. Yeah.
You know, that was the biggest difference. You know, but it was fun to do it all fresh and just go at it a different way.
it feels like we're living in a golden age for rock and metal bands that are not afraid to, go outside the box and let pop influences and electronic influences to come in. A couple of questions about that, because like there's what's the problem for many bands is that they also embrace or welcome in the, with a lack of a better word, predictability of pop music. With you guys, very different. I think one of the best ways to describe your music is it's never predictable. Hey, you guys, you keep us on our toes, things move around, even if you are at times poppy. Is that something that it feels like it's like a blueprint thing where you go into like, okay, we're going to create music and we want to keep it, unexpected? Or is it that way, or does that just happen naturally? But because it happens in many of the songs that you just like, you kind of like throw a curveball at us all of a sudden, right?
This is the biggest thing that I found when me and Jon were sitting down together with this, is that like a lot of people will write a chorus, a verse, and then you start where you're going to go, and then you build the blocks around it. For example, I don't really write like that. It frustrates him to no end. But I start at the beginning. I'll start. I'm like, how does the song start? Right, this is how it starts, and then where does it go? And then where does it go after that? I don't know when I start writing where the chorus is going to be, what it's going to do. But I like that because I'm trying to listen as a listener. If you're on a roller coaster, you don't design the loop first. I mean, I wouldn't design the loop first. I'm like, okay, well, how do you start? What's the experience of sitting in the chair? Okay, and then what do we do? Do we drop straight in? Are we going to build to something and then we go? And it's just more like that. It's just flowing, and I want it to flow. And sometimes it's predictable. Sometimes the song doesn't need to do anything crazy. Right. Sometimes it needs to be, here's the verse, here's a pre-chorus, here's the chorus, here's the verse again, because it's natural and it feels right. And it would be too weird to not do that. Right. And then sometimes it's like, oh, who cares? Like, imagine sometimes it's like, right, you're on a roller coaster, you've just done the big scary drop, and there's another one. Yeah. And you're like, exactly. You're just there going, what just happened?
Metal is like the only subgenre where you can be too extreme by being too soft at the same time, by allowing some mainstream influences in you. The fans have also adapted a little bit more. For me, it feels like the music or the metal scene today is more open-minded. Do you think that you could have made your previous and your current album 10 years ago and had the same amount of success with that?
I mean, it's hard to say. We wouldn't be able to. We wouldn't be able to sit there and say we're a metal band, because we would be. You'd have to go, we're a rock band. Right. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're a rock band and you're heavier, you come under different rules than if you're a lighter metal band. Right. Yeah. I mean, I grew up on stuff like Job for a Cowboy and Suicide Silence, and I was like, well, if there's clean vocals, I don't care. I'm not interested. Yeah. Which is really weird to go lighter is somehow a controversial thing. So I think if we branded ourselves as a metal band, I can't see the success working the same way, because we'd be outcast. It wouldn't work. But if we were if we were a heavy rock band, it would have been, we could have got away with it. But then I don't know, man.
It's interesting how these things so quickly change. When we look at the concept of Ultraviolet, not just the song, but the whole thing, and Charlie in other interviews has said that it kind of represents this concept of there's nothing to hide, and a lot of the songs seem to deal with dealing with double-faced people that try to manipulate you. Maybe the first question there, the conceptual inspirations, is that a side product of the fast, growth and therefore experience in the music industry specifically, or are there other influences there?
I can't talk vocally. It's that's definitely
it's Charlie's.
It's Charlie's baby. That's sort of the world she lives in. I think we have a shared experience that allows us to say similar things in a different way. Whereas musically, it might be the same feeling, but not in so many words. Do you know what I mean? And then she'll go, "Oh, I know that feeling. That feeling is this," and then she can write from that. Right? Because I might not know, I might be feeling the same thing, but I don't know how to word it. But it's easy to capture the essence and the emotions behind it. And that's more where I come from, sort of thing. I kind of give her an emotion and say, "Okay, well, this is how this feels," and she goes, "Okay, that's how that feels to me," and then we put this together.
You as a music writer, because lyrics are important, it kind of, it spits out the story, or what's going on. So a lot of people will look at that, and you'll have fans that come up to you and say, well, it's not just this riff or this breakdown that I like, but they're gonna tell you as well, and other members of the band, oh, that song really related to me because I've been through this, and you talk about that. Sometimes you have bands where it's like, well, musicians go like, I don't really, the story or the concept doesn't really I don't really care about it because I only care about the music. But it sounds like with you, maybe in an indirect way, it is really important to you altogether. Is that a fair statement?
Oh yeah, 100%. But I try not to get too involved in the things that I don't know as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. Is that very much most of the time, Charlie has free reign, but we have free reign as well, and we kind of find where that lovely middle ground of these things connect really nicely.
Yeah.
In a sort of way. I kind of feel like with music, it's definitely like painting a canvas, but you're painting where we are. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And then Charlie gets to put the character in the story, and sometimes I go, of course, I'm like, yes, that's exactly the person that would be in this story, but I can't see it, and I can't.
Yeah.
I probably try, but there's no point. It'd be worse than what she does. There's no point, is it?
By using the word sometimes, that also can mean that sometimes she comes up with something you probably didn't expect at all. And the reality is that's the same with your fans, right? You're gonna have fans that come to you and go like, that song, yeah, right. The fact that it's about XYZ resonates so well with me, and you probably go like, oh, well, wasn't really about that, but great for you. Like, does that happen a lot with you guys?
Maybe not in so many words. I think because, and I remember not like taking a step back from the vocals, but I think there was a couple of times where I'd understood her vocal in a certain way, and then there was a lyric sheet or there was something, and I went, is that what the lyrics actually are? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, I thought the song meant something completely different, So I'm kind of on the wave of like, the story will mean one thing to Charlie, but it means one thing to me, and it'll mean one thing to this fan, it'll mean one thing to another
exactly.
fan. And I think that's nice. That I like how inclusive and how broad a song can be. It's like a fix-all for everything, because it doesn't. It's not like, okay, we put this one lyrical story on it and that's it. That's the only thing it can ever mean. Everybody else is wrong. It's no. It's like, that's how this makes me feel, and that's what I think. But here's what I think from a different point of view, and you go, oh, but I hadn't even considered that. That's really cool, So I guess to answer your question, yes, but like in a good way.
You guys are gonna be busy, very busy. You've already done some shows. You've got a German tour specific coming up, which is cool to see for people outside the UK, because here's the thing, the UK is a tricky market, and there are plenty of bands that become overnight sensations, and I know that, with a grain of salt, in the UK bands, but that have a hard time really breaking out of the UK. And the reality is you have to tour and play and engage and engage and engage. So with the German tour coming up and many more plans that you guys have, that is the plan. Go well beyond the UK borders now.
Oh god, yeah. We're you know, the UK is our home. We love it. We tour it as much as we can. We're coming out to Europe.
May,
it's like a week and a half away or something. We're coming out.
In April.
Broken Fest, and then we'll be Dragged Under, and then we've got a couple of headlines in there as well. Then we're back 2 weeks, back out again. So we're doing a run with Callahan. So that'll be great fun. And then we've got festivals in between and stuff. And I think later on in the year, it's not announced yet. We're coming later on in the year. We will be coming back. I can't say. I don't think it's announced, so I can't say we will be coming back.
This close to an exclusive.
It's just like, we'll be coming back. We will be coming back up to Europe later in the year, us personally, and then we want to come to America. We want to come to America. It's just how expensive it is.
For sure.
That's the goal of the whole team. We're all like, right, okay. Either if it's not near the end of this campaign, it's got to be the beginning of the next campaign. We've got to go to America.
No, you do. You have to come over. Obviously, I mean, I'm calling you from Toronto in Canada. So if you come to the States, well, unfortunately, it's not. Oh, yeah, just going to the States means you can just jump in and out of Canada. But hopefully, you get the chance to do that. The one silver lining, I'll say, it's a tiny silver lining on a big black cloud. That the visas have gotten so crazy for bands that if you do find the justification, most European bands now are booking back-to-back shows, back-to-back tours in the States. Oh, nice. Because it's like, your visa is lasting for a certain time, and if you're coming over, you're spending all that money. You know what? You might as well, squeeze everything out of it. So that's something that we're starting. Yeah,
because I've been to America before and it's lovely, and I really want to go to Canada as well. Mainly because it's just America but better, right? It's just there's this country, let's do it right, and then it just works.
We like to look down to the, let's call them the rebellious provinces, and believe that we're like a nice mix between Europe and Canada and the United States, but it kind of depends on where you look at it. We're a little bit in the middle of everything. But we'd love obviously to have you guys jump over the border when you can come to the States. Hopefully you guys get invited to a nice package that will take you all across.
I mean, that's the dream, isn't it?
Exactly. Until that happens, we'll just have to, make the trip out to Europe and the UK to see you guys play. We'll have lots of opportunities to do so, because there is going to be a lot of action for you in 2023.
Adam, September, come over, Jasper. September, you want to come to London.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.